Hey everyone, Paul at ISM. Welcome to part 3 of our D-Models 124th 4th Sierra Cosworth 4x4 video build. So today we are going to get this thing finished. We did the bulk of all the hard work in the first episode. Today we're going to assemble all the interior. We're going to get the belts in, polish the body up is where we're going to start today, and get it all built up and finished. Quite exciting to get this one done. It's been quite a quick build, this one as well. So let's see how it all fits together in final assembly. Right then, we start off today's episode and we're going to flat back our bodywork. Now the 2K on this was really good. Very clean, nice even 2K. Only a few dust spots, so we're not going to go the full shebang on this. We're going to hit this with 8000 3M Trizect and the UMP polish. It's all I found it required. I'd already tested it on a piece, so we've got a much quicker polish job today. You could go the whole hog if you wanted. I just thought because the 2K finish was decent, it didn't really require flatten back quite that far. So just some gentle sanding with these 3M Trizect pads. You can get these from any 3M dealer. Have a look on your eBay, Amazons and what have you. And if you get stuck, drop me a message and I'll send you a link to them. They are quite hard to find though, and they are pricey as well, but they will last you forever. That bag I have up the top there will probably last me forever. There's loads in there. They're 75mm discs and they're cut up into smaller parts, and this will do multiples. This tiny bit in my fingers will do multiples of cars many times. So we just go around and we're just lightly sanding the surface. We're just taking back that shine. Not going crazy, being very aware of all the raised edges, and then like I say, with some UMP polish, the less abrasive of the compounds, we're going to go around and give it a light polish up, and then once that's hazed up, we'll give it a clean over with a clean cloth, and hey presto, we have a nice beautiful shine to all our body. So literally go around again with any of the polishes of the compound. Be careful of any raised areas because it will burn through quite quick. Just take your time, work your way around. Like I say, make sure you keep nice clean cloths and choose your cloths wisely. We used to use and recommend microfiber, but I've found lately it can be a little bit scratchy, so I've moved on to these, which sadly we can't get anymore. So I'm currently looking for an alternative cloth, so stay tuned, I will let you know. With all that done, we've got our old faithful Mickey Mouse toothbrush. We're going to go around all the panel lines and remove any excess dried up polish. I'd also recommend the next day go around again because inevitably you will notice more as it dries overnight. But get rid of all the excess and give it a wipe over again with a clean cloth. Now I didn't need to jet wash it like normal because there's no compound in there. The polish is a lot easier to remove. If you want to, though, you can give it a jet wash, use your airbrush with some clean water and hose out all the panel lines. You've seen me do it in other videos before. For the tail lights, we've got some Vallejo Model Air Silver, and we're just brush painting the reflectors in the back with those very carefully. And then we've got these rear window trims, which we painted semi-gloss black earlier on. So a couple of dabs of Bob Smith's glue in the locating holes, and we can pop these in place as well. So I probably could have finished this in 2 videos quite easily. It would have been a little bit longer video, about 40 odd minutes, but I decided to break it up to make it a bit more interesting. And I hope you. A lot of people said about having shorter videos. A few people have commented they like the longer videos, so maybe we'll mix it up and we'll chuck some longer ones in from time to time. The rear lights, these have been painted. You will see the footage in a bit. I missed it out, but you will see it in a little bit, trust me. I actually painted the reflector part in clear red and then painted from the outside in Alcalad smoke tint. A couple of dabs of Bob Smith's glue will hold these in place, very, very carefully applied. The nozzles are very good for this, these precision applicators. They are very, very good. And then just drop it in, hold it for a second or two. In hindsight, I wish I'd done the smoke on the inside of the glass. I thought it would look better on the outside, but I wish I'd done the inside. Front indicators, these are separate units we painted earlier. So a little dab of glue in the locating hole. And the reflector in place like so. Push it home. Same for the other side, and then the headlights, a little dab of glue around each of the surrounds. We've hand painted the inside of the light with the silver like we did the back as well. Drop these in place, either side very carefully. There we go. And then same for our indicator lenses, go around it with a Sharpie pen to give the impression of the rubber seal. Fun fact, I lost one of these for about 20 minutes and I'd actually thrown it in the bin. I had to go rooting through the bin to find it. Bit of panic, but I found it in the end. And with a little bit of Bob Smith's glue, we can glue this sucker in place. So yeah, a little bit of a panic there. But I'd actually cut it off the sprue, that sprue on the bench there, and left it attached to the sprue and thought I'd cut it off and threw the sprue in the bin. Thankfully, I went back and finished this when I did, because I wasn't going to finish this that night. I was going to leave it for a couple of days where I released the second video. And thankfully I did, because that bin would have probably been emptied and that lens lost forever. So quite lucky, really. The other thing to do as well that I didn't do is paint around the window seals black. I should have masked and airbrushed them. I didn't realise till I came to fit the glass that you can see the white through there. So if you're building this car, before you get to any stage of putting anything in place, mask the windows and spray all around the surrounds in black. I had to go around with Leo model colour black and hand paint it, which isn't the best thing, but it does work. So all the glass is glued in from the outside with Bob Smith's. Really easy, fits absolutely perfect. Keep them clean, be very sparse with the CA glue. You'll be fine. The rear Sierra and Cosworth badge I've painted black. We primed it earlier on, and I'm using my 800 grit sander to take the top level off the badge to leave the black in the background as per the real car. And with a couple of dabs of Bob Smith's, very sparingly applied, we can pop these in place on the boot lid. The Sierra one's already on there. There's my compressor. There we go. And there's the Cosworth one in place. Hopefully no one was doing anything unimportant and didn't choke. Hopefully the presser didn't scare you too much. Belts. Now, I've shown these being made many times. I do plan to make a very detailed belt building video for my patrons. So this is going to go in my how-to guide over on Patreon, which is part of being a supporter. You've seen these built before. If you want to see these done, go and look at the Subaru Techniques guide from 4 years ago. I show them being built. It's not really changed as much, but I do plan on doing a very in-depth guide on seat belts in the near future. I've already done one on PE window wipers, on 2K, and I've got plans to do a whole series of them for patrons, which are going to be a lot more in-depth than I normally do on the channel. Belts are all held together with double-sided tape. Follow the instructions on the instruction sheet. They come with the car with the ribbon, so absolutely fantastic to get them with the kit. We're just using double-sided tape to stick them to the seats as well. So always a nice touch to get seat belts with the kit. There we go. And just position them where you want. I like to cross them over a little bit so you can kind of see everything. They look like they've been naturally laid in place. On a real car, those belts at the back will be slung over the side, but it doesn't look very good like that, so I always opt to do them like this. We've also glued in place the metal supports for the side of the seats as well. They should be blue apparently. I didn't want to do them blue. I thought it would look odd, so I left them silver. And we've got the Saybelt decals going in place here. Pop them in place, hit them with some UMP Strong. If that doesn't do it, some very careful application of Mr. Leveling Thinner will soon set them in place. We've got to be very quick and very careful because it will melt the decal and it might stick to your brush like that. Assembly of all the interior parts now, very straightforward, very simple. These were all painted up in part 2. We're just following the instructions and going around and assembling all the parts as required. So nice, simple, easy fitment. Everything fits where it should. It's fuss-free, it's simple, quick and easy. Handbrake in place. Bob Smith's again gives you time to work on the parts, so you don't need to rush or worry. We've got a kill switch that goes in here on this part. We're going to hand paint that red later on with the Tamiya enamels. And like I say, just follow the instructions, really easy to do. Like I say, you could super detail this, you could add all sorts in here, you could weather it, add wiring, all sorts of stuff. For me, as I've said many times, we're going out the box. It's how I want to build it, it's just the way I want to do it. And it's nice and simple and easy that way for me. And on the next one, maybe we can add a bit of detail. Maybe we can add some wiring to it, add a bit of more weathering in the interior. But it just goes together really well. It's such a well thought out kit. It's got great instructions, really well detailed inside. We've got quite a lot in here that will put Tamiya kits to shame. The fit is perfect. A lot of these parts you could put in place with no glue. They fit that well. So top marks to D Models and Carlos for getting this right. Because it's nice to see an interior that goes together so easy and is so well detailed at the same time. Seats are in. We're going to leave the belts free for now. So just a couple of dabs of CA glue on the bottom locating points. And line it up with its locating holes. And pop it in place. Some visors, they attach to the roll cage. So a couple of dabs of glue, 2 locating points under each side. There we go. And then the steering column on the dashboard. Again, Bob Smith's holding it in place. And the same for the steering wheel. A little dab of glue on the back. A yabba dabba doo. Now, most of these parts have lugs on them, which only allows them to go one particular way, which is good. So you can't put things on upside down. Another nice touch. There we go. There's our dashboard. Looks pretty good. We're going to feed our belts through the top of the roll cage so it's just sticking through. Roll cage was that good a fit, it didn't even need glue. Held itself in there absolutely perfectly. It's certainly a nice colourful car with all the suspension colours and the interior colours. It's definitely a very eye-catching car, I'll give it that. But like I say, get all the locating points in place, push it all home. And it doesn't need any glue, or mine didn't anyway, to hold everything in place. Literally clicks in place. Or slots in place rather, not click. And there we go, fantastic. Seat belts, they need to wrap around that bar at the back, so I put some double-sided tape on them. Feed it through the appropriate gap where you need it. Slide it down the back of the bar, pull it through, cut it to the appropriate length, and just fold it around on itself. Really simple. You could use CA glue, although CA glue can often soak into the ribbon, I've noticed before. So I think double-sided tape is the better option, although it can come undone over time. I've had a couple unravel in the display case. Just need pushing back on again. But it's definitely the easiest way of doing it for me. And there we go. There's one belt in. We'll repeat that for the other 3. There we go. All in place. Looking good. And while we're here, we'll chuck a wash on there as well, using the old enamel wash again from Tamiya. Dashboard's in, just one locating point to the front, bit of glue popped in between the roll cage. Nice and simple. Like I say, because a lot of these parts are enamel painted, be very careful wiping the wash off, because you will take the paint off a lot quicker than you think you will as well. Door cards, they locate onto the bottom, the roll cage, and the dashboard as well. So make sure you line everything up. And there we go. There's our interior. Like I say, you could really go to town. We could weather it all up, detail paint it a lot better. I've just gone out the box, or just out the box. Don't know how I seem fit. On the next one, we maybe add some detail into it, but it looks good. It's definitely got potential for some great scratch building. It really, really does look good. So again, yeah, top marks. Really nice interior, that one. Quite enjoyable to build. No fit issues at all. Went together really well. So we'll travel back in time and paint these lights. What it was I missed some footage and found it later on, because I was thinking, where did that go? Went looking on an SD card and hey presto, there it was. So, like I say, all I did was hand paint the centre part indicated on the instructions in X27 clear red from Tamiya. This is the acrylic, the alcohol-based acrylic. I then painted the exterior in Alcalad smoke because it was probably the best smoke colour I had to hand. But just some careful brush painting, I'll get these parts painted, no problem at all. And these are the badges we painted up as well. Like I say, we'll travel back in time a little bit here. All the grills are there as well for the front bumpers and some inserts and what have you. So these are just cut off, cleaned up and put on some Tamiya tape on a tongue depressor. Window mask sets all come with the kit as well, which is a great touch. They fitted really well as well. Often with the window mask, you can find it be a little bit hit and miss whether they actually fit. These were really, really good. So I opted to put them on while they were on the sprues, just to save any nasty fingerprint marks and what have you. And like I say, they fitted really well. Double check you're getting the right ones and you're getting the right side, because the front windows are handed. The front window, one's longer than the other to accommodate the mirror. And just get them down, get them in place, make sure they're all in the right position. If they're not, pull them back, reposition them. Be careful because they are paper, they do rip. So be very, very careful and just burnish the sides down on all of them, as you can see there. On the front window, it covers all three sides. So we cut it off nice and carefully from the clear sprue, hit it with the UMP 240 sponge thinny stick, and then hit it with the thinny buffer to clean it all up. Nice clear part. Not perfect, I said that in my review, not optically perfectly clear, but more than adequate for what we need. Again, stuck to a tongue depressor on some double-sided tape. We've got some Mr. Surfacer 1500 black. I'm going to put several light coats of this down. We're not going heavy at all, and we've been very careful we don't get the overspray on the back as well. We're just taking our time, nice light coats, going around building it up. We don't want to flood it because we don't want to bleed through the tape. And then same on the grills, bit of Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, several light coats, building it up to get the coverage we require. Body fitment to the chassis is phenomenal. We glued the interior tub to the chassis as before. It clicks in two holes at the back, click two holes at the front, job done. Perfect fit, no fuss, no trouble, sits perfect, fantastic. Again, top marks there, nice simplicity is what we want. We've got a few parts attached underneath. We've got those radiator and cooling fans, that metal guard, the red one. There's another bar under there that holds the sun protection plate on. We'll put a wash on these later on when they're all in place as well. But right now I'm just trying to get everything lined up so we can get the underbelly plates on. The exhaust popped in place, a little dab of glue on the side and on the end. There we go, that's that in. And then we've got the diff protection plate on and the front one in place. So pop the back on and move the front around until it clicks in. Quite a tight fit this one, but very precise. Once you get it all lined up, it does click in place very positively. So just concentrate on getting the back lined up first and then the front. As you can see, there you go. It'll probably hold itself in with no glue, that as well. It's that good. And boot spoiler, couple of dabs of glue into locating points, and that's glued in place. Again, very positively, absolutely perfect. Now, front bumper, again, great fitment. We've got all those grills to pop in place. They've been popped in as per the instructions. They just slot in from the front, held in place with a bit of aqua gloss. We used the varnish as a glue. Couple of dabs of glue on the front locating points. Clip it over the edge, hold it for a few seconds, and there's the front bumper on. We've got the toe and eyes in place as well. They've just been glued in place. And we've got the rear bumper on. Fun fact, again, I forgot to drill the holes for the number plate lights. So my version doesn't have them. So that's that. And here we are with our door handles as well. Just popping these in place. Little dab of Bob Smiths on each one. Make sure you get them the right way round. And then just pop it in place. Make sure they're straight. Line them up and push them fully home. Now these side skirts, now they're all locating points on the chassis. I found when I attached it to them, it pulled on too far. So I actually put it on the mating piece where it hits the side of the body and glued it to that instead. I found that the easier way to do it. So line it up underneath, get the part under the exhaust first, which I did have at first and it moved. So just gluing it in place, line it up with the groove. There we go, and then just ease the exhaust out of the way ever so slightly. Push it up, and then you can just push that skirt underneath. Like so. There we go. Same on the other side. Couple of dabs of glue on the side. Hold it for a few seconds. It'll fall off. And then pop it back on. The one downside to the Bob Smiths is it doesn't grab instantly. But it's also a bonus because it can give you time to work on parts. The heat shield now for the side. I opted to leave this off. It's a decal. We could have put it on under the clear, but I opted to leave it off, make it look a bit more realistic. So that's just popped in place. We've got the Mobile One decal for the rear screen, the auto glass for the front one. And again, perfect fit, no fuss, really easy to do. Very active decals, even to cold water, they come off the backing paper really quick. I never use decal setting solutions on clear parts because I've had problems before. So they're all set in place. And the mud flaps, and again, so well thought out. There's locating holes underneath. Put a little dab of CA glue on, give a little bit of a squeeze in place, line it up, and they're in place, front and back. Really simple. I've had nightmares with mud flaps on different cars before. These are very, very simple to do and very well thought out. And then a final wipe over because we've got an antenna to go on the roof, so I thought I'd give it a wipe over now. So careful wipe over. If you've had any fresh glues on there, leave it for a while, let it all dry. The window wipers are in place as well. Again, just a nice simple fit, dab of glue, and then they go. Like I say, those window wipers could almost rival PE ones. I wish you could buy those separately as a part because I would buy a load of them because they're very, very thin and very, very good. So careful wipe over. And then we can pop our bonnet pins in place. And there's a roof antenna as well. I didn't get any footage of the roof antenna. I actually missed it going on. But it has a little housing plastic part we painted earlier. And just a metal rod for the actual antenna itself. And it's a case of just gluing it in place. Same with these. Line them up. There are line bumps on the bonnet where they line up. Look at the instructions to see the way it's orientated. And glue them in place. And there we go. We are all done. I think she looks fantastic. It's not perfect by a long shot. None of my work is. It's just the way I roll, unfortunately. But what a great model. Really fun build. Great car. Very interesting build. And no complaints at all. I can't think of a single complaint. My only criticism would be I would have liked to got the other mirror for the side. So if I wanted to do a road car version, I could. But even that's a very minimal complaint. Lovely looking car. And yeah, top marks for the kit. Right then, so this was primed in Tamiya white surface primer, painted in fire scale white. It was masked off and sprayed in the fire scale blue. We used the fire scale red for the rear spoiler. The kit decals were absolutely fantastic. Some of the best I've ever used. They went down with no problem whatsoever. Absolutely brilliant. It was given a Tamiya black panel line wash. It was clear coated in Gravity Spain 2K clear. The wheels were done in the fire scale white, as was all the interior, the roll cage and what have you as well. We flattered the bodywork with some 3N Trizic pads, polished up with the UMP polish system, but we just used a polish. And as I say, this was built completely out of the box, and I haven't got a single complaint about the kit. My only criticism would be I would have liked to have got that extra mirror to be able to do a road car, track car kind of thing. That could be made by 3D printing or some aftermarket mirrors and a bit of scratch building, but what a fantastic kit. Iconic rally car, and I'm looking forward to get my other one. There's loads of schemes out there for these, so you don't have to do this scheme, but this is one of my favourite schemes of this car. I think the auto glass car looks great, and top marks to Carlos at DModels for creating an outstanding kit, again, of a classic fast Ford. And there we are. There we go. What can I say about this kit? It's just great. It really is. I can't sing its praises highly enough. The only criticism I've got, like I keep saying, is that wing mirror. I would have liked to got the second wing mirror in there, just so you could do a track day car, you know, a road car that's been modified to a track day car. That's my only criticism of the kit, but you could get them 3D printed, you could scratch build, you know, whatever you could. There's a way around everything. Everything else about the kit is just brilliant. Good instructions, great decals, great fitment. Everything just goes together with ease. It's trouble-free. It's up there with my favourite kit, the new BMW M3. It's just an easy kit to build. No real thought needed. Now I've built one. The second one I could build it really easily. I built this in 9 days. I could build this all day long. It's such a simple, easy kit to do. It's well detailed. It's got a great interior on it. Loads of great parts on the interior. You could really go to town and super detail it all. It's just all round top marks, a great kit. So Carlos has really outdone himself there. Well done, mate, and I look forward to your future releases. Thank you very much for the sample, mate. I know the other one's on the way as well. You said I'm going to buy the Bastos and the Marlboro decals at least. I'd like to get 2 more of these cars and build them in those liveries as well. So we will see at a future date. Carlos has got a Celica coming out next. Then it's a WRC Escort and a Citroen C4, I think it is, in the pipeline. And if they're anything like this kit, they're going to be absolute winners. They're going to be absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to that. So if you're in any doubt of getting this kit, watch my review. Watch this. As I said in my review, the proof is in the pudding. I've built it. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. And I don't lie. I always tell the truth. If something's bad, I'll tell you how it is. I always do. It's just a great kit all around. Really is good. If you're building it, let me know. If you built it, let me know. What did you think as well? And yes, I really like to do a road car version of this. I think it was slate grey. I think it came in. I think it came in a magenta colour as well. That nice ruby, dark ruby red. So I would like to do a road car, but I'd need the wheels for it as well. The lattice or the later ones, which I'm not a big fan of. Anyway, I'm waffling now. Ford fan, waffling away. But yeah, there you go. Go and buy this kit, and if you have built it, let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you want to support the channel, support me, my building, my models, the videos. You can get 2 month, it used to be 2 week, it's now 2 month early access on all the builds now. I've got that much of a backlog of videos, and I'm releasing them twice a week on ISM, that I've got about an 8-week backlog. So if you're watching this was released 8 weeks ago. You could have seen it earlier. Click on the link down below. There's links to my Patreon, all the tiers there. There's loads of different perks for being there. Not just early access, there's exclusive builds, how-to videos, monthly live stream. There's loads of stuff there. And by supporting the videos, you keep these going, because this is my job, and it is turning into a full-time job. Yes, and there's loads of links down there for everything ISM, UMP, me related, all my modelling pages there. There's an email address to get in touch with me, my scale mate is there. Everything's down below. And of course, make sure you sub to the channel, click the bell notifications, get notified of all the latest videos. Give the video a thumbs up, and please leave a comment. Love reading all your comments and your feedback. And that's a mouthful to read. Every single video I say that same spiel, every time. There we go. Question for today, if you got this far. What's your favourite rally car ever? What's your favouriteest rally car? For me, it's the Escort Cosworth. But it's a tied first place with the Audi Quattro S1 and the Lancia Delta. I think for me, the Lancia Delta is the more iconic car. That car I built in 12 scale, it just screams rallying. That's what that car is. If you look up a rallying in the dictionary, there should be a picture of that car. The Audi Quattro is the legendary car for me. I love the sound of that, the look of it. It's an epically good car. And that is the out-and-out winner for me, really. But I do prefer the Lancia because it's such an iconic looking car. Sega Rally as well. And of course, I'm a Ford fan, so I love the old Mark II Escorts and the Escort Cosworth. But my definitive answer is the Lancia Delta all day long. What's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. There we go. Enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.